Hi there. Welcome again to day 2 of Days of Play. I am going to start this off today with a quick announcement, which is that yesterday, after the first Days of Play, I'm like, oh, I'm going to give a prize to everybody who's been here live every day. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, that feels so exclusive, in a way that I don't want it to. So what I am going to do, which I did last Days of Play, and I don't know where I forgot, I'm going to offer 2 prize drawings on Friday. And so one will be available to everyone, and anybody who does attend live every day will get an extra entry into the prize drawing. So that's the deal for that. And there are a couple of you here so far that are in the running for that. Um, so starting off with our experience with microdoses from yesterday. Last minute in the chat, I noticed, Dawn, that you said something about you were going to talk in fake accents on your drive. Did you do that? Awesome. And then I also got a message from Tahir, is his name, who was doing the replay, and he's practicing the microdoses in the middle of a 16-hour work shift yesterday. So that was like, I'm so glad he has that. He was feeling very joyful about it. I'm really excited about that. Did anybody else try a few microdoses throughout the rest of yesterday that you want to share real quick? What, feel free to unmute yourself and just popcorn if you don't want to just say a microdose that you did maybe and how you felt before and after it. That would be great if you
Well,
tried
I
anything.
I done a bit of chair spinning when I came home today. Actually, I was watching the replay, so I had great fun on my movie chair here. The dog thought I was losing the plot altogether, but
Yeah.
it was good fun, and actually it was lovely because it really changed my energy because I was coming back with the intention to work, and I was like, let's just take a few minutes. So that was really beautiful. So thank you, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Mary. Thanks for sharing that. Wonderful. Desk chair spinning. I love that so much. Anybody else? Anybody notice any microdoses? I see Dr. O, you're raising your hand.
Yeah, I'm raising my hand because I believe humming was one
Mhm.
of those. And I found myself at a very critical moment relaxing with, well, it wasn't really relaxing. I was playing with humming. And what I was humming was as the caissons go rolling along.
Yeah.
So,
That's a fun melody.
but it was doing something inside, like a kazoo. That's how it kind of came out.
Well, I love that you said that because just in just a little bit, everybody's going to hear some of both of our voices, me and you, Dr. O, and as one of our microdoses, so to vibrate along with and play with. So, yeah. So, does anybody want to just try some humming right now? If you can mute yourself, if you want to, of course. Well, actually, go ahead and mute yourself because it does sound kind of weird when everybody's doing it, but go ahead. I'm going to mute myself too, actually, because I want you to follow your own play with your own voice, right? Just feel that inside as you just hum for, we're going to do it for like 10 seconds and play around with it. Just see how it feels. Here we go. All right. All right. So did you feel it? Were you able to play with your voice a little bit? It's one of the best things. I'll tell you why a little bit later, why that's one of the best ways to play, even if it's uncomfortable at first. Uh, just go ahead and let yourself do it. Even, alone is great. And hi, Bonita, how are you? So, uh, in our May Days of Play, we built a beautiful creative oasis. Wait, I'm going to share my screen a little bit just so you can see this. We built a beautiful creative oasis in the middle of the creative desert. Okay, that was one of the things we did. And because we find ourselves living in, without inspiration much of the time. And we also talked about creative suppression, which I'd like to talk a little bit about today, just real quick. It's going to be this slide will also be in the resource packet online that you'll get a link to in your email replay email. So the the just noting, right, that to look in ourselves for signs of creative suppression, and which play is then the antidote to, right? Are we disconnected from our life purpose? Do we feel like we don't know what our meaning of what any meaning of our life is? We don't have to answer it all the way, but at least somewhat. Right? We do play only for transactional reasons, like family events, or we're on vacation, quote unquote. Our self expression feels stifled or inauthentic. We have a lot of long term unfinished projects. or we're out of balance in any stress factor area like time, money, and relationships. These are signs of creative suppression. And the question that I'm going to feel into now, I've been feeling into lately, and I'd like you all to do that over the next couple of days too, is why are we like this and how do we get this way? Why do we get creatively suppressed? I'm going to read from an article that is about a really great play idea that you'll be able to, you could read it yourself later, but it's from, oh gosh, what's his name? From the Bulletproof Musician. Anyway. So he wrote in an article recently, there is a paradoxical tendency when we're stressed to do things that actually deepen our negative mood. For instance, if we're feeling discouraged after a bad day and are starting to question whether we have what it takes, it's easy to want to plop down on the couch and binge watch Netflix. And that might feel just fine in the short term, but it's going to be less likely to lift our mood in a meaningful way than going for an awe walk. So he's recommending that we go for an awe walk, like it's a walk to cultivate our feelings of awe and wonder about the world. You can read about that in the article, which I will include in the replays email later today. The point now is that when we're stressed, immediate disengagement is the last thing that we want to do. We actually want to engage more deeply with the world, at least for a few minutes, to help us get outside our looping minds. We get obsessive, right? So, Opeyemi, who, Dr. O, you said the other day something really inspiring. You said we need to raise our play dose in stressful times, and that'll help us move through the stress much more powerfully and faster. So let's get in another microdose of play here today. It's my favorite. We already did a little bit of music vibration. We're going to do some more. This is a music microdose, and it's my favorite kind of microdose. Not just for me, but when I'm recommending things, most of us do resonate with music in some way or another. And I think, and I've seen evidence, I guess, that the kind of vibrations that music produce in us to shift our energies are the biggest single thing that we can do to shift things. So this one's actually going to be a more quiet kind of play to listen to this meditation music that Dr. O and I and a few other women, I got to start over there. A few other women created last year. It's a meditation piece, and we're going to have a microdose. How do I get this out of here? Got to make the window tiny so I can see things. We're going to have a microdose of play with it for about a half a minute. That's how long that'll take. Here it is. Here we go. And anything that you notice as you're listening to this is fine. Just let yourself be, let yourself play as you hear the words and the sounds. Play with the vibrations that you feel for about 30 seconds. This is how
and I survive. Free.
This is how we feel.
So curious. Free.
This is how we feel. This is how we
Free.
This is how we feel. This is how
Free.
I wonder what her name is.
And I survive. Free.
This is how we feel.
Music is my freedom. Free.
This is how we
Free. I say yes to me.
Okay. So,
Best and worst dinner for
darn, I should have turned my own audio off. Was it echoing at all, or did it come through all right? Oh, good. All right. So, yes, that is, so I'm curious. Did anyone, we're getting late today. Did anybody want to share anything about what they experienced in that? Everybody experiences music differently and can play around with it differently. Anybody want to share? Let's just say one word, either share it in the chat or share it out loud, popcorn it out, unmute yourself and do that, about what that feels. For me, I'm going to put my word in there, and it's sparkles. That's what I get feeling when I listen to that music. Irony. Yeah, is another thing that came up in the chat from Dr. O. And busy was a feeling that Mary got. Harmony, Robin, Catherine, goosebumps. All right. Thank you for sharing that. And that's, this brightness from Kim is in the chat. This is a thing we all experience and are able to play because we experience the world differently, that matches how we experience the world. As I'm sorry, that matches how we experience play as well. Is it's going to be all different ways for each of us, and we'll explore a little bit more tomorrow about how to support each other. um, and let's see, the the suppressions, right? The reason, one of the reasons that music is so uh charged, I think, in our culture is because it is powerful for our play energies. And like, just think of the way that we're, so many of us are like, I can't sing, or I'm not talented, and that only the people who have talent can do music. I call this American Idol culture, and it is so stifling. And yeah, so these are the suppressions that we are trying to break free into our play eras, right? So before our next session, keep practicing play in the ways that feel easiest to you. Let it flow. Use your workbook and other resources that are in your email, and you'll get updates to that stuff in the email. Keep doing your microdoses, 3 or more every day. Note it, or more, right? Notice the effects that they have on your mood. Notice if any types of play seem to work better for you than other types, and just experiment and stay curious about what your own play preferences might be. Um, One more thing, somebody asked me yesterday if registration for these micro events is still open, and absolutely. The replays are going to be available through next week. So just have them register at, and I'll put this in the chat, myplay.growyourwholevoice.com. They can get the replays. They can be eligible for one of the prizes, just for being registered before Friday. And yeah, does anybody have any thoughts or questions before we head off? And you're welcome to stay a little bit after I stop the recording too, but just asking if you have any thoughts or questions or sharings. Okay, I'm not seeing any unmutings, so I'm going to stop the recording now. Goodbye.